Good. Hey, welcome back to Neppanee Public Library. My name is Maggie. I'm the Youth Services Assistant here at the library, and joining me for Book Bites today is Cherie. She is, well, what's your position? Tell us more about you.
My position is, I don't know the title of it.
So you're a circulation
public service specialist.
Public service specialist. And what that means is she smiles at you when you walk in the door, and together we are really good at helping you find books on our shelves, letting you know what we have in our collection, and assisting you in the best that we can. During Book Bites today, if you are new to this virtual reader's advisory, the way that this works is our goal is to answer questions for you, to recommend some books coming to you the way that you are used to seeing us. So through your tablet, through your computer, our goal is to get titles into your hands. So we're going to go through a set of books today. Our theme is going to be based on senior characters. So if you are new to Book Bites, basically all you have to do is let us know in the comments if there is a book that you are interested in. We would be happy to put those aside for you to pick up. So all you'd have to do is come in here and see us here at the library, bring your Neppanee Public Library card, and pick up the title that you've requested. So pretty simple. As we are reading through some of these different books that we have based on today's theme, we'll also mention if they're available in other formats. So if a physical book is not your cup of tea, by all means, we'll let you know if it comes in other formats. And then those might be accessible straight from, again, your phone streaming device, something that you already have in your hand. So ready to get started, Cherie?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I absolutely love reading characters that come in all different types of walks of life, all different areas of the world, because I like to experience everybody. Does that make sense?
It does.
It does. So reading characters that are so far separated from me gives me such a thrill. So I've been a teenager. I like to read teen books. I'm a mom. I read mom books. I've never been a senior citizen, but let me tell you, I can't wait for it because these characters all make me laugh out loud. And to literally tell you that you can be reading a book and start snorting, these books are some of the ones that actually make that happen to me. Because there's no filter. I feel like many of the characters that are in the books that we're highlighting today, they have no qualms about telling you how it is, disagreeing with maybe whatever is happening in a scene, and just word vomit all over the place. And so I love that about our characters. Now, Cherie has told me she has not read all of these books, but she might have some recommendations for me, but maybe I'll talk you into reading some of these too.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have fun with it. The first book that I wanted to highlight for you is actually part of a series. This is from the League of, what is it called?
Pensioners.
The League of Pensioners. So a pensioner, like across the big C, we've got different ways of describing elderly people. So you've got sexagenarians, we call them elderly people. They could be retired folks. So all of those are going to be keywords that you can use when you're looking for titles like these. But this is the little old lady who broke all the rules. And this one is going to come to us in a translation. And it's the second book in the series, but it's the only one that I have read. And this is one of those that I mentioned earlier. I really, truly laughed out loud reading this book. Yes. So it takes place in a senior home. And there's like this group of people, boys and girls, grandmas and grandpas, whatever, and they're sitting around and they're talking, and they're really disgruntled about this living conditions that they have. Their food tastes like cardboard, there's nothing to do. One of the gentlemen is like, he likes to tinker. There's no place for him to tinker. And they're sitting there, and all of a sudden this TV show comes on, and it talks about what it's like to live in jail. And jail sounds better than the senior home where they're living. And so they come up with this plan to not only break out of their senior home, but to find a way to end up in jail so that they can have better living conditions. Does that not just sound like the premise of a great book? I truly, truly loved this one, and I actually probably should go back and read the rest of them, because the things that they do to get themselves in trouble, they don't want to break the law, but they need to do something enough that they get picked up and they have to spend time in jail.
But they're not very good at it.
Yeah, it's so flawed.
Yeah.
If you think about it in like Amelia Bedelia terms, like they have the best of intentions, and they try to think of all the things that could go wrong with their plan, and it just doesn't work. But anyway, this is a great book. I hope that you would enjoy it. Martha Anderson is somebody you should come back to read over and over again. This specific book we have is a book, an ebook, and an e-audiobook. So if you have your Napanee Public Library card, you'll have access to that on Libby and Overdrive. We also now lots of alsos. We also have Hoopla, so it might be available on that as well. So something fun to read.
You know, Maggie, just one thing about there's an underlying theme in this book of despair and unhappiness that's bringing out what comes to be very comic.
Oh yeah.
But we see that so often with elderly characters. They've gone through so many losses. They've lost their jobs through retirement. They've lost friends and family through age. They've lost their homes because they've been shuttled into this place where they have to live, and they do feel like prisoners and very unhappy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to find comedic relief in that is, they're doing it for themselves.
They are.
Yeah, I like it. Frederick Brockman is an author that we speak of often here on Book Bites. Some of his characters fit into this genre. We won't go into the details of these. You'll be able to find them on previous episodes. But Britt Marie was here. This is probably his maybe second most popular book, I would dare to guess. This one again comes to us in a translation from Swedish. And it is about an elderly lady who ends up taking over a soccer team at her community center. The community center is not in great repair either. It's getting ready to be closed down.
And she knows nothing about soccer.
And she knows nothing about soccer. So if you could imagine like this, you know, elderly lady with no sports mindset whatsoever taking over a soccer team, and it doesn't only transform her from the inside out, but it really impacts these kids that are on the soccer team too. Absolutely comical, and the translation is fantastic. So that one, again, is from a really popular author, Frederick Bachman. This one we have as a book, ebook, and e-audiobook as well. This is the one that he would be most known for, and it's a man called Uwe. This one has circulated widely around the staff and around town. Many people have read this one. Same thing, it comes from the Sweden language, so it's been in translation to us. And this one here, a man called Uwe, he's just set in his ways. He does things very repetitively. He knows what to expect until his world and his repetitious behavior is changed. His neighbors come in and they change everything. It is a fantastic.
They drive over his mailbox.
Yes, yes. Okay, so the opening scene where they're like talking about the iPad just made me laugh, because like I know people who are not tech savvy, and so like you can just imagine they're disgruntled, like, I'm hitting the button, why isn't the button not working? You know, so like you picture people when you're reading these books, and that's why you know it's a great storyline with a great author when you can actually picture these characters in real life. He has a very short fuse, Uwe does, in this book, and Tom Hanks has been optioned to play him in the American version of this DVD, and I cannot wait to see how it comes across on the screen. I can't always say that I'm eager to see movies from books. That is one that I am very eager to see.
We have a movie of that, don't we?
We do. We have the Swedish DVDs of both of these. You would just have to read the subtitles. So I haven't watched either of them. Are they good?
Uwe is good. I haven't watched Britt Marie.
It is.
This one's good.
It doesn't follow the book as much as I would like for it to have done, changes. But it's good. It's well worth watching.
So I will have to put those on mine.
Michaela said that is one of her favorites.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Man Called Uwe. I like it.
Yeah, it was fun.
It
was fun.
It makes me smile. I think of Mr. Rogers, kind of.
Oh,
but
Mr.
like
Rogers.
a grumpy Mr. Rogers.
He wasn't grumpy.
Grumpy Mr. Rogers. There are lots and lots of books in this genre. We're just talking about a couple of them today. So if you have others, leave them in the comments, because, I mean, maybe you're watching things, you've got other books that you're surprised aren't being featured. Leave them in the comments so other viewers might have access to those as well. Have you read The Lido?
I have not.
You have not. Okay, I'm going to talk you into this one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The Lido comes to us from England, and this is Libby Page's book. Lido is like a community pool. So if you think of like a giant outdoor rec center, that is what the Lido is. We have a dual perspective. So we have a main character who's going to fit the genre here. She is Rosemary. She is 86 years old, and she has swam in this pool like every day of her life. Okay, there is a routine there, something that she does every single day. She met her husband while using this outdoor recreational center, and the storyline of her life is so intertwined with visiting this place that she can't imagine it ever disappearing. Here's the problem: it's in great disrepair. A developer wants to buy it up, clean it out, change things. That doesn't sit really well with Rosemary. In comes our second main character. She is, I forget her name, Kate. And she is a reporter who's trying to make her big dip into the world of reporting. And so she is going to talk about what it would look like if, is that rain?
No, it's the HVAC.
What it would look like if the development comes up and takes over this, and what it would look like. So she's interviewing people that use the Lido all the time. The interaction between just their interview creates a lasting friendship, and together they work through what it could look like if the Lido is gone. But you get Rosemary's backstory, and it truly is just a fantastic, fantastic book. And I think everybody behind the camera is realizing it is raining very, very hard. So I'm not sure if that's coming through on our video, but you can hear it pinging off of the library. And I'm truly just now realizing that all of our books are foreign today. So, not that there are no elderly man characters here in the United States, I just apparently didn't pick any of them up. So if you have any of those, also leave them in the comments. The next one that we have was recommended to me by a former co-worker, staff member. Have you read this one?
I haven't.
The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper by Phaedra Patrick was recommended to me by Lynette. She used to be our bookkeeper here, and she also, let's see, she recommended Uwe to me as well, I believe. So great book recommendations, and they've stuck with me, and now I get to recommend them back to you. The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper follows obviously Arthur. He is very, very similar in the way that he is a stuck in his ways old man. He is a recent widow and gets up every day at 7 o'clock. He has his routine. He knows what he's going to do, and nothing is going to change that. He really is a homebody. He doesn't leave his hometown. And when he's going through the everyday and going through these emotions of losing his late wife, he ends up finding a trinket box that belonged to her, and it sets forth this ripple effect of how much he did not know about his wife before they got married. And so he goes off of his routine, and trinket after trinket, charm after charm, he learns bits and pieces that makes him fall in love with his wife all over again, even after her passing. It really gets him to explore the world around him. He goes to different countries. He surprises his kids by leaving home altogether. But it's a story that's stuck with me. It is a fantastic book, full of adventure, and I think that you would like this one too. We have The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper as a physical book, and we also have this one as an ebook. So if I talked to you and did any of these books, Sheree?
Yeah, definitely that one.
This one?
Yes, I think I'm gonna read that one.
So good. But you've read Uwe, and you read Britt Marie,
I have
and have you snorted to this one?
bits and pieces
Bits
through
and
that
pieces
one,
of it.
so I will
Okay.
finish that.
I think these two would be fantastic reads for you.
Okay.
And then if you start becoming a mermaid, then I will take total gratification in knowing that I have influenced you in that way.
Well, that might be fun.
Yeah. Okay, again, if you see any of these books, or even in hindsight, if you watch this later on our Facebook wall and you see a title that stands out to you, let us know. We'd be happy to put it aside for you, put it on hold. You can pick that up with your Napanee Public Library during working hours. And let's see, our next episode is going to be number 19. We're going to talk about foodie memoirs. So books that either have a foodie storyline, they might be books that are half cookbook, half memoir. So that will be fun as well.
You could bring your lunch to that one.
Going to maybe a cup
People
of coffee.
could bring us lunch
They
too.
could bring their lunch.
There you go. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for joining us on Book Bites with Maggie. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.